Hey guys, I'm Evan. Welcome to Country View Acres. So today we're going to be cutting hay for the very last time this year, but we do have a few trees or limbs down in the hay field, so we need to take care of that first. So let's get started. All right, here's the first one. Looks like it is a tree, or at least a big limb. Top of that tree right there, that's what fell down right here. I guess we'll just get out the chainsaw, we'll cut it up, and it doesn't look like it's any good to save for firewood, so we'll just try to shove it all into the woods. This whole tree is just covered in vines. Probably got like 20 vines on it. All right, got the first tree cleaned up, and I was glad that it wasn't a honey locust tree, because right in this side right here, there's a bunch of honey locust trees along this side, and I'm glad I didn't have to deal with all those thorns. Well, judging from the bark on this one, I think this is a hickory tree, so it sure looks like with the leaves too. It broke off right there. Might be a little bit of decent wood here, so we'll throw the limbs in the woods, throw the big chunks, I guess, back in the side by side, and we'll take them back. My property line is right here, and I'm piling them up on my side. One of these days, maybe I'll fix this fence. There's an old fence in here. I'd like to be able to graze the cattle back here one day. Certain times of the year, I think it'd be beneficial. All right, I got that tree all cleaned up, and those are the only two that I'm aware of, but I'm gonna go ahead, we'll take a lap around this hay field, we'll go over to the other hay field, we'll check it, make sure there's not any more. So this tree right here, this is a honey locust tree, and I always have to dodge it with the tractor. Hopefully you can see, look how long that thorn is. That thorn is almost as long as my finger, and it's just covered in those thorns. So I think I'm gonna try to crawl back in there and see if I can at least cut off some of these lower limbs that are coming out toward the field. That's what the excavator would be good for. These locust trees, don't have to worry about popped tires. All right, got all the limbs trimmed and dragged as best I could into the woods. But now when you look down here, you don't have any of these limbs right now. So clear path, don't have to try to go around it with the tractor, but probably should just end up cutting that tree down this winter. We're gonna get our windrow deflectors widened out all the way. That way we can lay the grass out nice and wide. Hope it dry in the sun, because it did warm up this week quite a bit. And hopefully it's the last time that we're gonna cut hay with this Heston PT10. There's another big auction earlier this week, and I bid on, I think, 4 different disc mowers. I got outbid on every one of them. So they're going pretty high. Some of those used disc mowers went for over $6,000. And I also ended up bidding on a seed drill that had a small seed box on it, got outbid on it as well. I think I bid on probably at least 10 different things, didn't win a thing. So hopefully there'll be another auction here soon and I can at least get a new hay mower, a used, new to me hay mower to replace this. So yeah, I really hope this is the last time I use it. So this whole hay mower was missing several things. It was missing these windrow deflectors. We fabricated those. It was missing the deflectors on each side behind the rollers. And then this one here, it's actually starting to break off. So we're gonna get some screws or something, see if we can screw that back down. We just need to hold it in place to last just a couple more hours. So I just ended up grabbing a couple of self-tapping screws. That ought to work. All right, got the deflector back on there. Well, I think that was the last thing I needed to do. So I think we're all hooked up and ready to go. So let's cut some hay. So both of our hay fields look horrible right now. They look more like weed fields than they do hay fields. So we haven't really got a good substantial rain in probably like 2 months. So the cool season grasses with the hot weather and everything, they never really grew too much. And then the weeds came in, and then the warm season grasses have come in, and it just they look horrible. In fact, both fields kind of look differently. They have both 2 different problems. Different weed problems, but they both look horrible. This plant right here, that's a cockaburr plant getting ready to make cockaburrs out here in the hayfield, and I can see several of them out here in the field. Those probably get spread by deer and stuff like that, the cockaburr seeds. So as we look at this is like warm season annual grasses that we really don't want in here. And our grass, this is some other grass here that we don't want necessarily, and the grass that we grow, it's this stuff down here at the bottom. That is our grass that we're trying to grow, but it's like the weeds and the warm season grasses are a foot or more taller than what we actually want. But we'll make the hay. It'll still get, when this all dries down, the animals will still eat a lot of these things, but it's just not gonna be very good quality hay, that's for sure. All right, just finished up. First hayfield's cut. Gonna head over to the other one. It looks completely different. Still has kind of the same problem. It has a bunch of warm season grass in it, but it's just way taller. So the second hayfield is completely taken over by some warm season grasses, more like a switchgrass, really tall stuff. Look at this, it's just completely covering the entire field. And this stuff is pretty tall. It's like chest high on me, and it's already going to seed. I really should have cut this like a month ago, and I just knew there wasn't gonna be much grass out here. And the problem with me not cutting it is I let this warm season grass continue to grow, and now it's completely gone to seed. So I've just kind of made the situation worse by waiting. So yeah, the hay fields just don't look really good this year, and I'm hoping this problem doesn't continue to get worse next year. But let's go ahead, we'll get it cut. We'll still let it dry down, we'll still bale it up, and we'll still feed it to the livestock, but this is not what we want out here in the hayfield. All right, just finished up the second hay field, and everything went fine. Didn't have any breakdowns. Everything went smooth. I probably shouldn't say that because when I go to rake or go to bale it, it probably won't go well, but the cutting, everything went smooth. So the Heston PT10 did fine, lasted one more time, and hopefully we'll get something new to replace this before next year. So tomorrow I think the high is 87 degrees, and then it's a high of 90 the next couple days. Probably the heat index is going to be a little bit higher than that, but with sunny skies and those warmer temperatures, this ought to dry down just fine. Probably here in a couple days we'll get it all raked up and baled up. But yeah, this is going to be the last time we cut hay this year, and I think we'll have plenty of bales to make it through the winter. So anyway, I think I need to go ahead and head back up to the house. Rebecca was making some chicken gnocchi soup, so let's go get some supper. All right, got the mower put away. I'll go in and see if we get a little bit of supper. All right, here we go. Rebecca's chicken and gnocchi soup. It's really good. All right, just finished up with supper, but I probably got a couple more things I need to do before I call it a day. While I was cutting the hay, I could tell the air conditioner was starting to not be able to keep up. And that's typically because the radiator screen's getting pretty dirty. This screen right here in front, this is the radiator for the air conditioner. It's actually not as dirty as I thought it was going to be. Everything's still pretty hot in here. Hasn't quite cooled down yet. That one's definitely dirty. So as dry as it's been the last couple months, the grass has really not been growing. It's not been growing back as fast as the livestock are eating it. So we're starting to run low on pasture grass out here. If you walk through the yard right now, the yard is a different grass and it's like crunchy. You walk through and it's just like crunch, crunch, crunch. It's just completely dry out here. And we really need some rain pretty bad to try to turn this around and get the grass growing again. Now out here in this pasture, I still have probably a few days worth of grass out here before it gets too bad. But where the ewes are over at the bank barn pasture, that's my worst pasture anyway. And that one is definitely getting overgrazed. So what I'm probably gonna have to do is I'm probably gonna have to move some livestock around, lock them in maybe the winter pasture, and start feeding them some hay pretty soon, just to let the pastures recover. And that's what we got to do to prevent overgrazing, prevent from permanently damaging the pasture. We don't want to graze it down so much that the good forage doesn't grow back. But I think that's what's going to probably happen here pretty soon, is probably going to end up taking them off pasture for a few weeks and hope that we get some rain. I hope that it recovers. And there's still no rain in the forecast, which is really discouraging, because I've disced up that back, that north side of this field over here, and I want to get that planted, but I want to wait till there's some rain in the forecast before I put the grass seed out there, or else I'll probably just waste it. And each one of those bags, like a 50-pound bag of grass seed, pasture seed, is like 125 to 150 bucks. Sometimes it's actually 175, close to $200 a bag. It's not cheap to plant pasture, that's for sure. So I really want to get some grass, or some rain. I really want to get some rain so that the grass actually grows and I'm not just throwing all that seed away. But hopefully the forecast will change, because I did cut hay, and typically when I cut hay, it changes and we end up getting rain when you don't expect it. And this time around, if we do get some rain, I will gladly welcome it, that's for sure. But I think that's going to be it for today's video, guys. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.